Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I want to start out by showing you what the adults in the room are talking about while the children keep talking about Bitcoin and stuff like that. That's not going to be a major part of the financial system. Here's what the adults are talking about while Bitcoin's in the playroom.
Tony, if you can brief us a little bit about the regulated liabilities network and the proofs of concepts that were released in 2022 and 2023. How has your thinking of interoperability changed through doing those projects?
Yeah, thank you. So the concept of regulated liability network is really an investigation into the application of distributed ledger technology to regulated financial services. And if I just pause there for a second, it's entirely not obvious that DLT is a good technology for the regulated space, because we have to remember that DLT was created as the antithesis of regulated financial services and not in order to augment it. So the first thing that you have to do if you want to apply DLT to the regulated space is you've got to put a number of fundamental blockchain constructs into the garbage.
Get ready for it, Bitcoin people and proof of work people.
We don't want non-sovereign currency units. We don't want commodity forms of money.
We don't want commodity forms, non-sovereign.
We don't want proof of work.
We don't want proof of work. I've been telling you it doesn't work. I'll never forget having to wait for all the confirmations, and then I found this XRP thing and I was like, what in the world are we doing?
We want anonymity.
We don't want anonymity. I wonder if that means they don't want Joseph Lubin's internal transparency.
We don't want tokenomics. We don't want economic systems which are outside of the regulatory perimeter. So if you ditch all that stuff, what's left? And there is a kernel of stuff which is left, because the way you get to that is to ask yourself, what does Ethereum do better than the traditional financial sector? And that's where you find some really intriguing possibilities. Number one, Ethereum is 24/7. Now that I wouldn't say is a unique feature of a blockchain. You can do that on a different technologies, but it's true that
Okay, so he brings up Ethereum, but the problem is Ethereum has some of the same problems that he just described. Currently, they're trying to ignore them, but don't worry, XRP Unleashed is coming. Now, Chad Steingraber has some interesting thoughts here. What I've been showing you is how proof of work will get black boxed by BlackRock. It'll go into cold storage box, never to be used again, while the derivative ETF shares will be traded on the XRP ledger as tokenized assets, XRP in-game. You can see all this stuff being shoveled in BlackRock, and we do know what BlackRock's plan is. We've shown you that many a time. Now check this clip out about gold and the BRICS.
The BRICS group is set to introduce a new currency backed by gold, in contrast to the credit-backed US dollar, with countries lining up to join the growing initiative.
The BRICS countries are planning to introduce a new trading currency which will be backed by gold. More and more countries recently expressed desire to join BRICS.
The decision comes a month ahead of scheduled Alliance Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa. 41 countries have since shown their interest in BRICS membership and its new currency implementation. Russia's foreign ministry has stated that if African states show enthusiasm, the group's expansion may also be on a Russia-Africa summit's agenda in the end of July. As of now, the BRICS group remains comprised of Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. Former Statistician General of South Africa, Pali Lehola, says the gold-backed currency will facilitate the advancement of developing countries.
avoiding using the gold standard. We have gone for almost 45 years now, since 1980 when this was dropped. And we have seen the consequences, particularly of this to the developing countries when the dollar was adopted as a standard and gold not as such. Yet against that, there's been accumulation of gold in the developing world. South Africa had a much stronger currency when the gold standard was still in force. By going the gold standard by many countries, that many African countries, of course, have, this will be of great benefit to strengthening the currency, the single currency that is backed by gold. It will facilitate development because, after all, currency is the quantity of material things that societies have. If you use another currency based on material wealth or material things you don't have, it means that you are at the mercy of that country, and and they will charge commissions and the like.
Okay, so that is interesting stuff. Now, Crypto Bull came out of nowhere. This guy's known for coming out of nowhere with bold predictions, and he's not afraid. XRP is following the same structure as 7 years ago. Next moves $2 in March, $6 in April, $39 in May. Ooh, I'll take it. Now, but the reason I wanted to show you this is because he's talking about how it's the same structure from 2017. Well, he's not the only one. Dark Defender put this out. RSI for XRP Bitcoin pair is in the weekly time frame stands in the same place as it did before the 2017 and 2021 XRP bull runs. RSI tells us the 2024 run is here. Man, I like the sound of that too. Okay, then we had Perianne Boring, and she's talking about the stablecoin bill and how that could impact the crypto markets. Listen to this.
You know, right now we're talking about Bitcoin being above $47,000. I know you don't talk about price, but when we think about what this bill might do to trigger, institutional demands, the idea of money on the sidelines now coming in, if some of these very important questions get answered, what does it maybe do to that thesis?
In terms of price, this would be extremely bullish for the entire cryptocurrency industry, as well as Bitcoin specifically. The large majority of Bitcoin transactions are done through stablecoins. We are hearing through our members and through corporate partners, participants that we're in direct discussions with, that there's many major institutions and organizations that are very interested in entering the stablecoin ecosystem, but they feel like they do need specific regulation and clarity on stablecoins, how it works, how regulations are going to apply before they enter. So legislation ultimately, as well as it's done correctly, could be a huge bullish signal, an indicator for the entire cryptocurrency space, because it can bring in new major players into the industry, which would put more buying pressure, more investment, more development on the technology itself, which would help grow the ecosystem overall.
Okay, when I think stablecoin legislation, what I'm thinking about is all the different, not just stable, but all the different assets that can be built on ledgers. Tokenized assets, folks. That's what we're talking about. Naveen Gupta has finally landed. He's going to be at Crystal Intelligence, is it? Is that what it's called? Crystal Blockchain Intelligence. This, from what I read, this looks like it's a company similar to Chainalysis. Under Gupta's leadership, Crystal's poised to enhance its innovative solutions, addressing the critical need for superior blockchain intelligence among regulators. So I don't know if this is, it might be out of Europe, it might be like Europe's answer. I haven't looked that closely yet. But here he is. He is now CEO. See how that works? Then I wanted to show you this. And I think I showed it in a video the other day, but I wanted to show it again. Because I've been seeing, look, I've been through this since 2013, and here's what happened. Here's how it works, kids. every time there's any extended period of time where pricing's not doing anything or pricing's low and all that, it provides an opportunity for all the naysayers and the negative people, and some that are probably, I couldn't prove it, but I've been here a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if there are literal paid people that are paid to FUD Ripple and XRP. Remember, this is a digital war going on, okay? If they would file an SEC lawsuit, multiple other lawsuits, get the crypto pundits, the traditional media, the financial media, the crypto pundits, if all of them came for Ripple and XRP, it's not a big far cry to think people would be paid in we know people are paid in social media to do other things, politically and all. So why wouldn't they pay social media people to come after Ripple and XRP if it stood to change the game for the entire world, even be involved in the changing of a world reserve currency to maybe like a basket of them? Yeah, you would have bad guys coming for it. So my point is that we've seen for weeks and weeks, if not months now, all the negativity come in and Ripple's trying to manipulate the price and all. I've seen it 1,000 times. So here we are again. So this is a tweet from Hodor. Now Hodor is probably, back in 2019-ish, 18, 19-ish, he was a blogger, and he was probably one of the more respected people in the XRP community. He was one of the only ones that I know for a fact, because I remember Brad Garlinghouse saying he read his stuff, and I remember a lot of talk about that. But this is something that he said that always stuck with me. He said, Ripple is quite cognizant of possible market capitalization numbers, along with the public relations challenges that will go with it. You remember the articles began to be written when XRP hit its all-time high in 2018. Laura Shin immediately, almost on cue, wrote an article from Forbes to talk about how rich, how wealthy Chris Larsen was. I knew when I saw it what that was, okay? But he says they're quite cognizant of along with the public challenges that will go with it. Their plan is not to just sit on their XRP and watch as their valuation skyrockets past the valuation of the East India Company. So this weekend, and this is the other pattern I've always noticed, is anytime all the negativity and all the Ripple bashing and all the stuff, a lot of it happens on Sundays. I guess people get bored, Saturdays and Sundays, when they're sitting around bored or whatever, and feeling like stirring up trouble. So in DAI XRP, my private group, DAIXRP.com, I'm going to show you something that David Schwartz literally drop kicked him like a football this weekend. It's kind of like everybody was talking, and finally he weighed in. And I'm going to show you what he said. It's pretty funny. It's kind of like one of those moments like, what are you going to say? What are you going to say now? Because the whole concept is that, the XRP price is being manipulated by Ripple and by their bots and this and that. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. You want to see David Schwartz drop kick some fudsters? Then come on in. That's Brad Combs saying.